First off, I would like to say that what I am about to present to you is not meant to be factual. I have not done extensive research. Nor do I have quotes from famous ancient philosophers and scientists. This is not a history lesson. I am only presenting this as my opinion, albeit an extremely unpopular and possibly sexist one. If, by accident, anything I say is actually fact, it was completely unintentional and was only meant to display my perspective as a gamer. I am doing this because I wish to finally ask the question that has been plaguing my mind ever since the recent surge of modern feminist blogging sites. Modern feminists have created video blogs and Tumblr posts complaining about provocative, beautiful women in fictional media, namely video games and comics, claiming that these women are objectified, only serving as eye candy, and should not be allowed to exist in any fictional setting. So I would like to ask, are sexualized female characters really that much of a negative trait? And am I sexist for having more interest in them than the well-written, feminist-friendly characters people tell me to like? The reason I am using a text-to-speech program is because I find a female voice to be more attractive and appealing than a male voice, especially when speaking for a long duration. I also stumble and stutter when I speak in real life, and have difficulty forming the right words properly, even when I read off a script, resulting in mispronunciations, bad audio, and quite a few angry and politically correct masters of the English language looking to point out every flaw about me. So, with no intention of being sarcastic, I apologize if having a female voice speak for me is sexist. But now, let's begin. I would like to present to you this image of a character. Using only single characterizing words, what are the first words that come to your mind when you see this character? What do you think of them, from how she holds herself in this image and how she looks? For feminists, they will only see breasts, and be quick to judge her as hypersexualized, slutty, and impractical. For me, I see her as fearless, physically strong, and tough. Now, how about this image? Again, some will only see this character as sexualized, one-dimensional, and whorish, thinking of only negative words. But when I see this character, view her as alluring, confident, calm and powerful. Finally, let's try something far more tricky and controversial by having a large group of the most hated and despised female characters by feminists together and present them in a way that will surely have feminists in an uproar. They will tell you that they only see hypersexualized eye candy, just empty sex objects, but I see more. While I am very much attracted to characters like Mai Shiranui, Ivy Valentine, and classic Lara Croft because the majority have traits that I am attracted to in fictional women, such as large breasts and sexy, provocative outfits, I can see more to them based on appearance and body language alone to think of these words. Funny how I'm the most perverted person in the world, and yet I still view sexy, busty fictional characters as badass women, while feminists look to objectify those same female characters because they do not conform to their view of what a female character will look like. They claim men and game developers are objectifying women, and yet they can only see these fatal females as a walking pair of breasts. I may be perverted, but at least I don't objectify them like modern feminists do. Confidence is the main reason why I love these characters. Confidence is sexy, and being sexy requires confidence. When Mai bounces onto the scene to get ready for a match, does she look degraded or oppressed? Most certainly not. She seems happy and free and bursting with positive energy. She is in control of her body and is willing to show it off. She worked hard to get that perfect figure, she's proud of it, and she's not going to let anyone in that fictional universe try to oppress her by forcing her to cover up or get a breast reduction. It's not the clothing or the actions that objectify a character, it is the viewers and people that do it, and only by choice. When feminist tells you that Tarot, from Witch of the Black Rose, is an objectified character just because she has large breasts and a nice figure, it is actually them that is reducing her to a status of an object. They choose to degrade and dehumanize the character because they only see her as eye candy. Funny how they fight to abolish objectification, but are so ready to write off a female character as one-dimensional and slutty just because they look sexy. Ivy is a tormented soul trying to right a wrong of her past, yet feminists only see her for her killer figure. Feminists objectify her because she is sexually empowered, yet despite the fact that I'm attracted to this character because of her body and outfit, I'm still able to enjoy wanting to know more about her character and the situations and conflicts she endures. People will find anything sexist. We see showing off skin as sexually attractive. If originally there was a society where everyone was nude, anyone that was wearing extravagant jewelry would be considered sexualized, despite the fact that in our eyes, she is wearing much more than she was previously. That's why some people are not bothered by painting of nude women, but will have a fit if a woman wore high heels and a dress that showed off her long legs. Over-sexualization is a negative thing only if you yourself view sexy females as negative. Let's take a look at Jim Balent's Catwoman. Going back to characterizing words, if we only looked at her at face value and didn't know who this was, what characterized words come to your head first? A certain type of feminist would say, of course, that she looks slutty and hypersexualized. But when I see her, the words in my head say confident, mysterious and sexually empowered. There is a certain Tumblr site that dedicates every day to finding female characters they don't like because of their looks, and will try to paint those women in a negative light, and yet I frequent it because I like to find the comics they complain about and collect them, knowing that I will like them and find positive traits for the very same characters and artwork they complain about. Sadly, what they don't know is that despite how much they enjoy mocking certain games and sexy artwork, all they do is help make whatever it is they complain about more noticed and popular, therefore supporting the so-called sexist comics they are trying to make other companies create less of. I believe sexually confident females are the most powerful women, dangerously so. They have that one trait that no man could ever hope to have naturally, femininity. A sexually empowered woman is confident in who she is as a woman. She is whole in all areas of life. She understands that being sexually empowered includes, but is not exclusive to, confidence expressed in sexual situations. This woman knows exactly what she wants out of every life situation, and leverages her sexual energy as a creative force to go get it. Sexually empowered women are passionate about everything that they want. Every sexually confident woman knows the world is her playground. She can get whatever she wants, even if it means she has to put in work to get it. Why? Because she operates from a belief that she's got it like that. Battles are fought for the honor of being in the presence of a sexually empowered woman, and while non-sexualized women are merely viewed as just an equal, a confident, provocative woman are revered and worshipped as goddesses. Men have to get degrees, study for years and train their whole life to get a career to make decent money, where a woman simply shows off a little bit of cleavage at a webcam for an audience and is handed more money in a day than an average working man makes in a week, and has fun doing it. So when I hear that a character is hypersexualized, I don't see it as a degrading term. To me it means that woman is displaying a level of confidence and sexual freedom that makes others uncomfortable, and for some, intimidated and defensive. If the popularity of boring, realistic females are crushed by the mere sight of more appealing, sexier characters, then sexualized women are not degraded, but instead loved, appreciated and empowered, if not overpowered, since it's so easy to abuse that power to manipulate anything you want and easily get anything you desire. Sex appeal is positive, promoting positive emotions such as love, lust, unity between consenting people and peace, where more sex-negative, feminist-appealing characters make negative feelings like aggression, arrogance and fighting against a so-called patriarchy. People complain that games like Dead or Alive and Soul Calibur are sexist for having these wonderful women in bikinis, Despite the fact that these games have the very same amount of variety they try to demand that every game have. Take for example Dead or Alive. Feminists only think that the girls have only sexy outfits, but a majority of them have fully covering, non-sexy clothing as an option. The game gives you the choice of the clothing and characters you want to play, from the busty and playful Tina in a sexy all-American bikini, or the small Lai Feng in a sleeveless shirt and white pants. The same can be said for choosing a woman in Soul Calibur or Samurai Warriors. I could always play a strict, non-sexy, practical character like Jinchio Tachibana or Hilde, but I just prefer sexier women like Ivy and Koshozo. However, if everything presented here from all this does not change your mind, or what I have said is in fact flawed and all sexy female characters actually are ultimately just sexist, objectified trash that should not be allowed to exist in any medium, then I willingly accept that I am wrong and will accept the label of being sexist, having only defended these characters for my own perverse goal of having more women like these in gaming and comics. However, even if I must accept such a harsh title of being a misogynist, I refuse to change preferences, even if it's considered smarter to like practical, realistic girls than sexualized women. I am willing to be happily sexist as long as I have my freedom to prefer sexualized women like Sorceress, my Shiranui and Ivy, instead of having to force myself to care for the more feminist-friendly girl characters in media like Armored Samus, Alex Vance and Faith from Mirror's Edge. I will continue to support games like Dead or Alive, X-Blades, Lollipop Chainsaw, and Bayonetta, and Japan will keep making them. There will always be a Dead or Alive, a Ray Play, a Scarlet Blade, and no amount to criticism against those games would stop other people from playing it or making it. The best you can do is be a voice for having more feminist-friendly characters, not be a voice of killing all sexy characters. Why not take all that effort that is being put into criticizing what you feel is not right, and using it to actually make a game that is representative of what you feel is appropriate to portray within a game? I believe that a lot of modern feminists made enough money off their Kickstarters and donations from Tumblr posts to make their own independent title with. Show the world your creativity, and how great and meaningful your particular game would be. You might be surprised. One game can change the face of an industry, and you might be that one person to make that change. I implore you, put the effort and negative energy you devote to bashing games you don't like and use it to something more positive, like praising games you do like, or being inspired to create something that you think others should enjoy. But until then, I'll take Stripperella over Strangers in Paradise any day.